We are live and excited to have you with us today. I just wanted to take a moment to welcome you to After School Central, which doesn't really work, ASC Live Online, as school is out for the summer, isn't it? We are so glad that you are joining us today on Facebook and on YouTube. So just wanted to take a moment and intro our special guest. You all know him, you all love him, and y'all are going to be like, wait a second, he's a guest? Isn't he always here? I'm going to bring him up with me right now. Nathan Baker is our special guest. We wanted to bring him on as a guest today because we want you all to get to know each of us as well, so you'll get to see us as guests over the next week, this week and next week, just so you get to know a little bit about us, and also because we believe that each of us is special. So Nathan, so glad to have you on today. How are you doing today?
Good. I'm a little fuzzy. Sorry, my brother's playing video games. I told him to get off, so I should clear up here soon. But I'm doing well. I got off work at 3, and here I am, and I'm ready for what we've got in store today.
As am I. It is an exciting day, and we are excited for what Nathan and I have come up with this week. I'll get started with our first game. So our first game today is going to need your help in the comments. We got this idea from, I actually played a game with one of our students, brought it in over the winter, and it's a game that they created on YouTube, Dope or Nope. And so what this game is, what we're gonna do to modify it to work for us is we need you to drop 3 items in the comments that Nathan and I can combine for you all to try and make it something that is actually reasonable, that you all think is pretty cool. And then you get to tell us, did we succeed in making it cool, or did we kind of flop and just go, what in the world, why did you try combining an AirPod and a piece of paper and a sticky note? Like, that didn't work. Why did you try combining them in that way? You should have done this. And we want to hear what your feedback is on that. So Nathan and I have taken some time to prep for this and come up with items that the other person doesn't know to start us off with while we all wait for your comments. So we would love to see your comments of items that you want us to try and combine into something pretty cool. But we'll get started. Nathan, do you want to start giving me 3 items to combine, or do you want me to start giving you the 3 items?
Yeah, I'm ready. I'll give them to you first.
Okay. Let's hear him. Lay him on me.
Alrighty. We've got a headband, a light bulb, and a bag of popcorn.
Okay, I've got one more question. Who am I trying to sell this item that I'm going to make out of? You said a headband, a light bulb, and a bag of popcorn?
Your target audience is people who are 55 and older.
55 and older, selling them a headband, a light bulb, and a bag of popcorn that I've got to combine into one something. Let's see. How do I want to do this? There's so many ideas flowing through my head. I've just got to pick the best one for an audience over the age of 55. A headband, a light
for that senior discount at Bob Evans.
Okay. So, this one is hard. There we go. Got it. Okay, so you know how difficult it is to change a light bulb? Like, incredibly difficult when you're getting to that age where climbing up on ladders and bending over and reaching into odd angles and odd places just feels difficult. Do I have a solution for you? So, I haven't come up with a name for it yet, but this item, you might recognize some of its components or different things it shares in common with a headband, a light bulb, and popcorn. The other thing is, besides light going out, you want to know instantly when a light bulb goes out, right? Sometimes you're in a different room and you can't see it. So the popcorn, you know how when popcorn pops, it makes that really loud pop sound? Part of the reason it probably has the name popcorn. So this light bulb makes that popping sound whenever it goes out, just so that you know it's out and you know that it's time to change it. Secondly, the elasticness of the headband. So where that comes into play is changing the light bulb. It's can be so hard to get up into those weird angles with your hand and the light bulb and trying to get it. So this device grabs on to the edge of the light bulb, the end of its elastic to grab the light bulb, and then it sticks it up in there so that you can twist it without getting in at all the odd angles. And it's got enough elastic to it that it can bend and reach into all of the different angles that you have. So it's a kind of combination. I kind of combined all of them into one. Actually, it's just a handle on the light bulb. That's what it is a handle on the light bulb that just hangs there. It's fire retardant, so it won't catch on fire. That is my item. Love to see what you all think in the comments. And to answer your question over on YouTube, we came up with that game from actually your brother bringing that game to, I believe, our serve retreat over the winter, and then just kind of modifying it to work for what we've got going on now. But that game came from his idea, which came from there's a YouTube channel called Dope or Nope, and want to give them full creds for actually coming up with the game. So Nathan, I'm not seeing any comments yet. How do you think I did on that?
Yeah, I think it was very very ingenuitive. It wasn't exactly what I was thinking of with the three products, but it was still pretty good. Still pretty good.
Okay. I got one nope, and I personally kind of agree with the nope in this case. Nathan, I'd love to hear what you were thinking with those items. What would you have made it?
So I was thinking of a type of apparatus that the light bulb fits into a part of the headband, and what you do is you have this like a shelf over a chair or something, and you can put the headband on, and the light bulb's on top of the heat from the light bulb. It's a very powerful light. The heat from the light bulb warms up that bag of popcorn on top of that shelf over your head, and it pops it. That way you don't have to like get up and go wait for it at the microwave or like go sit down, go back and get up. You can just like reach right up there, grab that bag, and it's ready.
Okay. Remember, if you are watching us, drop a couple items, drop 3 items in the comments, and Nathan and I will try and come up with the best item possible out of those 3 items. Nathan, are you ready for what I've got for you?
Yep, let me hear them.
I had them, give me 1 second, I've got to pull them back up. My 3 items for you are a phone, not like a smartphone. One of these types of phones, house phone, a ratchet, and a cupcake. All 3 things that I've used today. A phone, a ratchet, and a cupcake. I will be interested to see how you put the cupcake in there. I love how we both included one food item in our challenges.
Oh no, that's it. Oh man, that's difficult.
Okay. I'll give you another 30 seconds or so to see what you can come up with. And if you're just now joining us, Nathan is trying to come up with an item that combines a ratchet, a house phone, and a cupcake. And I didn't tell you who you're marketing to. You're marketing to teenagers.
Okay.
And remember, it's not a smartphone, it's a house phone, which makes it a little bit more difficult when they're used to living with the smartphones. Okay, about 15 more seconds, Nathan.
Okay, I think I've got it.
Okay, let's hear it.
Alrighty, so you know those times when you're working at like Ace Hardware or Do It Best or some type of tool place. As a teenager, this is your job, and you have this thing that you don't know what it does, and this thing that looks like something you carry around in your pocket, but you've never seen it in your life. Um, well, these two things have been mashed together to make a phone ratchet. All right. So what's going on is um, you're working, all of a sudden, oh, the phone rings at work, and it's somebody who, oh no, needs to bring something in to get fixed. Well, not only can you answer their call right there, but you can tell them, bring it on in, and I'll fix it immediately. So they come in, still on the phone, mind you. Okay. They walk in, and here you go with the phone from your face. Boop, you start screwing it like a ratchet. Bang, bang, bang. And then they'd say, you know what? You did such a good job. I'm going to give you a cupcake. And they hand you the cupcake after you're done.
Okay. I love the reward of the cupcake.
That's the only way I could figure out how to get it in there.
I am not sure how if I would be comfortable carrying a phone ratchet in my pocket all day long or on my belt all day long, but I do love the ingenuity and the creativity there. I have not yet come up with my own way of using them. As I'm thinking about it, going, my brain went, so every time you pull out your phone, wouldn't it be great if there was a little bit of cupcake on it? So this phone automatically bakes a miniature cupcake every time you pick it up, so that when you get off the phone, whether it was a good conversation, you're like, this is a reward, or was a bad conversation, you're like, I just need to numb for a second with my little miniature cupcake that my phone just produced. That's what it is. And then I'll have to go with Nathan being, there's a ratchet on the top of the phone, so that if you're working and you're like, oh, hey, look, hold on 1 second, and you just need to ratchet away at something while you're working, then you go back to it. Stepdad's a diesel mechanic, so that might be super useful.
Now, to add on to yours, I would almost say instead of having to work with the ratchet, you have to spin the ratchet to make the cupcake. So it just doesn't cook. You spin it to make the cupcake.
I like that. So you're getting yourself a little bit of exercise while you are right after you get off the phone. I love it. I don't see any comments for any items for us to combine. Do you?
I don't.
Okay, feel free to leave those in the comments if you come up with any on throughout the rest where you want to go. These 3 items would be really fun to see Jonathan and Nathan try and combine. Feel free to drop those in the comments and we will come back to them. Nathan, you want to introduce our next game, which I forget how we were creating this one on here?
Yeah, so our next game is kind of similar, but what we are doing is one of us is going to say something that has to do with something one of us thinks, one of us likes, and you guys are going to have to guess who it is. So I'll say I played volleyball in high school, and you have to guess if I'm talking about myself or if I am talking about Jonathan. So you guys are gonna guess who this. Essentially, you're gonna say, is it Nathan or is it Jonathan? So here are gonna be a couple of them. We're gonna have we have 3 options that we're gonna do for each person, but I'm only gonna say 2, so you never know. If it's going to be one person twice or one person 3 times. So, the first thing is, I changed my college major 2 times. Am I talking about Jonathan, or am I talking about me?
Would love to see your guesses in the comments. Drop them in. Who changed your major twice? Who was super indecisive? Was it me? Or was it Mr. Nathan? I always go the wrong direction when I attempt to point. Nathan, go ahead and give us our next one. Sorry, my fault for jumping in real quick. Let's go ahead and repeat our last one and then do our next one. So, last one was...
Our next one.
Go ahead, Nathan.
The last one was I changed my college major 2 times. Next one is I played basketball in middle school.
Was that JJ or Mr. Baker? I don't know. Who played basketball in middle school? Okay, I've got one clarifying question. Just to help our viewers out, does this count as at recess or as an actual extracurricular?
As a
sport. Okay. Okay, so who played basketball in middle school as an extracurricular? Okay. Our next one.
Are you guys ready for the answer to the first one?
Ooh, yeah. Let's go ahead and do that. Who was super indecisive in college?
The answer is both of us, actually.
Really?
Yeah. I went from I technically changed twice because I went from undecided to communication to education.
Okay, and then I started out as a double ministry, worship arts, music ministry major at Indiana Wesleyan, and then changed to Christian ministries, and then changed to international and community development because I just really didn't know what I wanted to do. There are still days where I still don't. So, but I did not realize that was both of us, Nathan. That was a perfect one then.
Yeah, I know. I read it. I was like, ooh, I can get both of us or both of them in one.
Okay. Let's
All
do.
right. Do you want to share?
I'll go ahead.
Second one yet first, or do you want to?
Let's give them a touch more time to comment. So our second one was, remind me, Nathan. I don't have that one written down.
I played basketball in middle school.
Okay, so the second one was Nathan or I. Wait, why did I point to myself for Nathan and then him for I? I or Nathan, not sure which one, played basketball in middle school as an extracurricular. Then our third one, Nathan, do you want to go ahead and share our third one? Let's make this our final one as well. This will be our final one.
All right. I did band and choir at the same time for 2 years.
Okay, was that JJ? This guy? Or was that Mr. Baker? Nathan. Okay, I'll go ahead and give us our answer to the last one. The last one, I'm not entirely sure who it was. Actually, it was very much Mr. Nathan Baker. I have no hand-eye coordination, so the sports that I stuck with throughout middle school and high school were running. They only required my feet. So we will let Mr. Nathan Baker take over the basketball court. What position did you play in middle school?
It was like shooting guard, the 2 spot.
Okay.
2 or the 3 spot. So
okay. Awesome.
Most points I ever scored in the game was 10, and I scored them all in 1 quarter. So
that's pretty epic.
I didn't make a lot. I didn't make a lot of shots in middle school.
Okay. Did you play basketball in high school then?
No, I did not. Played volleyball.
Okay. Our last one. Who was it? Nathan or I who did band and choir at the same time for 2 years? Nathan, do you want to give the answer to that one? Was that one you?
No, that one was you.
Okay. Yes,
but
I did.
I was choir for a year.
Okay, did you? What years were you in choir?
My freshman and sophomore year.
Freshman and sophomore year. Okay. My 7th and 8th grade year are the years that I did band and choir, and then I stuck with just choir because I enjoyed choir a little bit better than I enjoyed band at that point in time. Love both. Okay, that was Who Dis. Both of those were very short sneak peeks of what we might be doing some on Thursday. So would love to have you all join us Thursday for Zoom, and we'll remind you all about that at the end. So past couple weeks, as we've had a special guest, we have asked our special guests some questions. And we're going to do the same, even though Nathan isn't a guest in the typical sense of a guest, he is still our special guest for the day. So I've got a few questions that I've come up with for Nathan to ask him today, and here we go. And if you have any, feel free to drop them in the comments. We'd love to hear your questions too. Nathan, favorite song and why?
I don't think I can pick a favorite song. I listen to so much music. I have like over 3,000 songs on my Spotify.
Oh, I thought I had a lot. I'm only at like 950 to 1,000. Okay. What's been on repeat lately?
Oh gosh, I'm gonna have to look, to be honest with you.
Okay, maybe I might give you a pass on that question because that question is really hard. You got one?
Yeah, let me see. I can find one. Now, my favorite song changes like probably every month. So right now, my favorite song, my most listened to song, we'll do my most listened to song, is a song called Glass House by a band called Kaleo. They are from Iceland. There's a good tidbit of information for you.
What makes that song your favorite song? At least right now.
Yeah, I mean, I really like just kind of the overall sound and feel of it. It's like a rock, kind of a rock song. Got a pretty driving, like drum beat to it. I just think the singer of their band is very talented. Live, he sounds exactly like he does on recordings.
That's impressive.
And yeah, I mean they're all very talented, and the song it's super good. I love it.
Awesome. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and jump to our next question. What is something that you make sure to do every single day? Like if you don't do this today, you don't do it that day. You're like, I missed something yesterday. Something that you have to do every day.
I mean, I did not look at these questions beforehand on purpose, so it was very candid. I mean, there's like the obvious one, like put my phone on the charger, because then I wake up the next day and I'm like, my phone's at 20%. I'm not making it through the day. I don't know. I don't like have a lot of like habits that I do every day. Like I feel like every day for me is different. Like I always like one day maybe I'll play video games, next I'll like read a book, or I will like do research or watch something that involves sports. Like every day is just so different for me. I guess it could be I always make sure like I have time to just kind of relax and do something that I doesn't take a lot of energy. That way I can kind of recharge if I have plans later in that evening, or if I've just had a long day. Yeah, I honestly just make sure that I have some time to myself.
Okay. The next one. Thanks for sharing on that, everybody. I know that given I currently live alone, so I have plenty of time to myself. Everybody definitely needs time to themselves each day. Next one is, this one's a little challenging, and I'm going to qualify it with, you can't say the current global situation of the pandemic. What is one thing that, and only one thing about your life right now that you would change if you could? And it can't be the pandemic or social distancing or anything really relating to the pandemic.
Man, nothing related to the pandemic?
I'm going to say, like, it can't be the fact that there is a pandemic and that we have to social distance. I'm going to take those two off the table so that it's a little bit more difficult. Because that's the given. I think everybody at this point wants to change the pandemic.
Yeah. One thing I would definitely do different is have more of a like workout routine. Like last fall, like every day of the week, or maybe like minus one day, I would go to the Y or something. Obviously, I can't do the Y now, but I just mean like a at-home kind of thing. I guess I would change my level of activity, because if I'm but not doing that at home, really my only activity for the day is like walking around at work and going up and down stairs, lifting heavy equipment and things like that, which is kind of a workout, but not like a proper focused workout on specific things. So I definitely changed my level of activity.
Okay. That is, it's always good to get out and enjoy some of the sunshine. That's something I've very much enjoyed lately. Last question.
Not the last 2 days.
That's true. The last 2 days it's been rain and more rain and clouds, because currently it's not raining. Okay, the last question I have for today is, what is one thing that you wish you'd done to prepare yourself for your future during the summers in high school? As we're coming into summer break, and this might be some advice for our teenage viewers, what is one thing you'd wished you'd done during those summers to prepare for your future, where you're at now and where you hope to be while you were still in middle school or high school?
Funny enough, I was thinking about this today or yesterday. I kind of really wish that I would have not been so focused on wanting to like spend most of my summer like hanging out with people. I wish I would have been more focused on like working and making money. Like I really wanted to take advantage of summer and having the days, like the daytime, to do things with friends, because the job that I worked, really I didn't work very long. I worked like 6-hour shifts, and like at the time I thought that was so long and ridiculous, but it really wasn't that bad. And so like I look back at it and I kind of wish I would have gotten some type of like 80-20 job or micro pulse. I guess those are maybe a little bit extreme for somebody in early high school, but like I was so focused on, like I said, spending time during the day doing things, when in reality, like I would have had the evenings to do things as well. So that would have set me up better financially moving into college, because I definitely, as soon as my paycheck hit, I spent it. So having a better job and having maybe some better thoughts about how to money manage and things like that definitely would be things that I would have changed in high school to help prepare myself for now, because those are things that I'm teaching myself now is money management, and that working a lot is good.
Thanks for sharing, Nathan. Those are definitely something, like, even as I look back, I wish I'd done a little bit better myself, was finding those jobs that really helped prepare me for the future. So excellent for sharing. And it is really difficult to find that balance of like, when are the times that I should be working and when are the times that I should be playing, so that I'm making the best use of all of my time. That's something that I still haven't learned all the time, and I'm a year and a half out of college, year and a half into full-time work. So it's a learning process that I think, especially, let this be encouragement for those watching, that takes probably the majority of your life, because I know folks older than me who are still like, some days it just, that balance isn't there and it's really hard to find.
Yeah. Like I know that you like want to enjoy your summer and have fun and be a kid, and like I like do it. I encourage that. Be a kid, enjoy your time off, but also like start to shift yourself into the mindset of a person in the workforce. Like get a good job that might require a little bit more effort than a typical job. My high school job didn't require hardly any effort, so sounds like you're getting a call.
Well, thanks for
get a good mix of the two, because you definitely need to be young and have a good time, but also work.
Yeah. Thanks for sharing, Nathan. For our challenge, I'm going to let you take over again for our challenge for the week for our students.
Yeah. So I know that Jeff and Krista have kind of related their challenges to their question answers. Since I was very candid with my question answers, I didn't read them ahead of time, so I didn't relate them. Um, but I think it's still really good. You guys are done with school now for the semester, and you guys have your summer. So I guess it kind of. But find find a good way to spend your time that doesn't involve things you do now. Like find a new hobby. Um, get a job. Have a way of income during this summer, and put it into a savings account that you can use later on. Um, Pick up a good book. I would love to hear what kind of books you guys are reading because I'm going to be an English teacher, and those are the kind of things that I want to hear. Um, get into something that you don't normally do. Something that I really want to do is get into just like for fun writing, just writing short stories, things like that, and just being creative, letting my mind flow. So my challenge for you is find something new to do with your time this summer, because you might have a lot of it without the way everything's going. So find a new way to spend your time and really push yourself to take that on.
Awesome. I love that challenge. And that's what we're going to finish up with today. We've got just a couple announcements. I've got two, and then Nathan will wrap us up. Line curbside. So if you or your parents signed up for meals for this week, make sure to pick them up tomorrow, 4:30 to 5 p.m. And then on Wednesday morning, I'll be emailing parents out again. But you can go to our website and find the Line Curbside sign up and sign up for your meals for next week. We are still doing them at least through next week. And then also check out our website for some epic student stories. If you navigate through our cook-off page, you'll be able to find those stories through there, or it's on our giving page. But there's some awesome stories that we'd love for you all to take a chance to watch and see some of how the center's impacted a few of our students over the history of this center. Nathan, go ahead and take it away.
All right, guys. So I'm sure most of you watching, if you don't follow us on Instagram, you should. But for those of you that do, this is the part of our live that I wanted you to see. So we've really enjoyed having you guys on Zoom, and we're so thankful that you have all been joining us. But we want there to be more of you on there. We want to get a ton of people just to have a good time. Play the games that we've been playing, because I know that you guys have loved them, and so we want to share that with way more people. So we are issuing a challenge. Now this challenge comes with rewards. Your challenge, you guys watch, is to get 15 or more people on our Zoom call on Thursday. Now that does not include me or Jonathan. So you've got to get 15 people on there. So I don't care how you do that. They've all got to be on their individual devices. They can't be sitting in on your device either. So if there's 3 people on one screen, it doesn't count. If you do this, Jonathan and I each have something that we are willing to do to reward you with this feat. If you guys can get 15 plus people on, I will put on a dress and do a famous TikTok dance and post it to our social media.
Okay, and then for me, you'll have the choice. Those who hop on will have the choice. So my facial hair is very classic, and I keep it the same very, very much on purpose. You all have already seen me grow out my beard, and I also went clean shaven. So there's 3 options that you would have to choose from. I would do a mustache for our live all the way through the end of the week, so Monday through Saturday. Solo, just the mustache on Jonathan. The second one would be clean shaven for 2 weeks, meaning I would consistently shave for the 2 weeks. I was clean shaven for almost 2 weeks, but it wasn't consistently shaven. I was letting it grow back out. So I'd be clean shaven, feel like to me at least, for like a month. And then the last one, this one's probably the funniest, is I would go, and you all could choose whether it was on Zoom or on Facebook on our live on Monday. I would go either the left or the right side. And so it ended up being clean shaven later in the week, but I would do half of my facial hair for a day. So imagine, I'm trying to do it without laughing. Imagine only like this side being clean shaven and this side being facial hair. You all would get to see that on a live or Zoom, depending on what you all chose. So those are your incentives. And we would love to see if you all can work together to get 15 of our After School Central and SUR students. And they don't even have to be per se students who have attended before. We'd love to meet some new faces. Any Whitley County students 6th through 12th grade, would love to meet them on Zoom. If you can make that happen, you get to style my facial hair and see Nathan do a famous TikTok dance in a dress.
And I'll even say, if we can do that 2 weeks in a row, I'll do the same thing the next week.
Okay. A couple of mine last about that long.
It's double or nothing. So you have to do it once and you get the dance, and then you do it again and get a dance. But if you don't do it at all, you don't get a dance at all.
Okay. So you have heard the challenge, and we will look forward to seeing if you meet it on Thursday. We'd love to see you on Thursday on Zoom. That's all for today. Thank you for joining.